Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back here at the Fernando Pullman Community Arts Center. Today we have another installment in our Next Generation series. Today I am here with Amar'e Perkins. Amar'e is a wonderful vocalist in our senior choir, and he's agreed to do an interview with me, and I'm really excited to speak with him. Amar'e, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay. So let's start off here with just a quick discussion about tell me who you are, what do you do artistically, what kind of interests you in that way?
Well, my name is Amar'e. I'm 17. I go to View Park. I sing and I act and I dance and I play piano, a little guitar and a little bass. Music always been my therapy, and also like acting. Like I wasn't always a big fan of music and like the arts and stuff, but when I did the Wiz, it actually, like, I was so excited. I was like, wow. And then I never liked playing the piano too. I was in music class. I was like, I hate music class. It's boring and stuff like that. And then I was at a baby shower one day, and I was bored at the baby shower, so I went on GarageBand, and I was just on my phone playing with the keys. I was like, this is fun. And so then I just taught myself how to play piano, and I just been progressing from there. And I taught myself how to sing better, because I want to sing. I love to sing. And it's like, music is a therapy for me. Like, I keep saying it because it calms me. It helps me express my emotions when whenever I feel like I can't express emotions, I write a song, because I write songs too. So I just be like, okay, let me find some chords, let me write a song of how I'm feeling. And I never really show anybody, because it's just my personal, thing. But it just helps me in a lot of ways that, yeah.
So you give me a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start kind of from what I hear is the beginning. So you didn't used to like music.
No.
It wasn't so. And do you think is there a reason for that, do you think?
I think it's just that in my early childhood mindset, I was not a obedient kid. I wasn't very pleasant and good to others. I was always getting into a bunch of fights, getting suspended. I got expelled once, just kind of in an upsetting past.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started, and it wasn't always me, I'm not victimizing myself, but I always was getting bullied my whole life too. And so that's why I was always getting into fights, because of bullies and stuff. And so when I got into the Wiz at ISF in 7th grade, then that's when all the fights stopped, and that's when I started to change, and I started to be nicer and just change. So I'm a whole different person than I was in 6th grade and 7th grade.
So it sounds like to a certain extent you're attributing that change to the arts.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
And so the Wiz sounds like it was a pretty integral part of your life. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that is, what part you played in it?
I played the gatekeeper. It was a little part, so I would never have joined the Wiz cast if it wasn't for my auntie. She passed away last year, but I always went to spend the night at her house. She lives on Crenshaw in Manchester. So I always spent the night at her house. And she never had cable, but it was the antenna, but it would be 7 channels. But the Wiz came on one night, and that's my first time watching the Wiz, and then coincidentally, it was a Wiz play going on. So I auditioned for that. But before I auditioned for the Wiz, it was a Black History program at my school, and everybody was like, oh, you sing good, you play the piano good, you should do this. I was like, okay, I'll audition for the Wiz, because I feel like I had so much confidence back then. I was like, I'm the best. I'm going to get the 10 man. I'm just amazing. And when I auditioned for the Wiz, I was like, oh, it was people better than me, so I'm going to actually, I got kind of humbled. So I was like, okay. But as along I was doing the Wiz, I met new friends. I met new friends who I'm still friends with today. and I'm like happy with them, and it basically like set the rest of my life, because before the Wiz I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't know, like, if you asked me before the Wiz, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do nothing, I don't want to go to college, I don't want to do anything. But then, like, I was like, I really like singing and acting, and it helped me, so I joined every play and try to do everything I can to, try to get there.
Yeah, because you always hear, people say, oftentimes, marketing, even for organizations like this, the arts changed lives, and it seems like you lived that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And so the Wiz, you said was grade 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you come to the Pullman Center?
I came to the Pullman Center right after the Wiz.
Right after the Wiz.
So the Wiz was in April, and so then like 2 weeks after we performed the Wiz, Mr. Fish sent us emails. He was like, "Oh, it's a play, Sister Act." Sister Act 2 going at the Pullman Center. Well, I didn't know what that was. It was like, if you want to audition here. So then some of us, like the main people from the Wiz, we all came to audition day for our Sister Act, and we did Sister Act, and then that's how I started the Pullman Center. And then we did the next play was Nightmare Before Christmas, and then the play after that was numerous of plays after that till now, but I always been with the Pullman Center ever since 7th grade.
And so mostly with acting and singing here at the Pullman Center. Cool. And what's kept you coming back?
What kept me coming back is, well, one, all my friends still come here too, and the Pullman Center, it gave me a lot of opportunities, like performing with John Legend. Right. I was so excited. So I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't really supposed to go with them. I stopped coming to choir because of my grades, because I had to get my grades up. And then Naomi, she told me, she was like, we're performing with John Legend this week. I was like, oh, really? And so I came the day before we were supposed to perform with him, like 2 days before. I learned the song, and then I went with them the next day to the studio to rehearse, and then the next week we performed with him. So I kind of stuck my way in there, and ever since then I've been coming to choir. We performed with Jackson Brown, we went to Santa Barbara, and it's a nice place. I learned also more, I always come, Mile been teaching me about music theory and stuff, so I learned more when I'm here too that I never thought. Yep. It's just giving me a bunch of opportunities, so.
Yeah, so it's opened some doors for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's so good to hear, that those opportunities are going to people who are going to take advantage of them. So that's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about Mr. Mayo, because he's the teacher that you've mostly interacted with here, right? Yeah. What influences has he had on your either your musical and kind of acting career, or just kind of life in general?
Well, I met Mr. Mayo in The Wiz, and not that much influence, but I learned he's the vocal warm-ups that we do. I use them everywhere else to warm my voice up too. So he's giving me examples, and he's just a great teacher. Everybody in the choir, we class with him sometimes, but we all learn from him too. He's a good, we working with him for ISEF in the plays, he's a good leader, getting everybody in order as a musical director. And I'm I want to be a musical director too, because that's kind of nice. I just want to do everything. I want to be a director, a producer, a songwriter, a singer, an actor, a dancer. I just want to do everything. So I was I want to be a musical director. So I'm I'm at the ISEF. I'm a student musical director.
Okay.
So I arrange the harmonies. I get the kids together, and I play the piano when Miles not there, and go over the songs with them. So
you're now in a leadership role.
Yeah. And Mr. Meyer helped me with that. He was he told our director, he was you should put Amar'e as student musical director. I was oh yeah, and he'd be acknowledging me for that and stuff. So.
Cool. So look, hey, look at you, man. You getting leadership roles.
Yeah.
Singing all over the place.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, we've kind of opened the door here for discussion about what's coming next for you, because you're a senior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, about to graduate. What are your goals coming out of this year?
I keep telling people, like, be a full-time auditioner.
Uh-huh.
Like, my goal is to be famous. Like, I just have to be famous because I've been bullied all my life. So I just want to, like, snap back at the bullies. So, like, I look at me and look at you, you know, look at me now. I like kind of a petty person a little. I like being a little petty. So I just was like, I'm famous now. And you ask my mom, anybody, all my friends, I love being in the spotlight. Right. If you go watch Chicago, when we do Chicago, I'm always front and center. I love being in the spotlight. So I want to be famous. That's my goal. I want to be a full-time auditioner, audition every day, like at least like 5 auditions a week, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Mostly in acting or mostly
in acting
singing?
Like musical theater too, sure. For singing too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind like singing gigs for like backup. You know, it's a start. You know, you gotta start little.
Yeah. But you want to go straight into that kind of professional artist career.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anybody who's in that life right now that you find really inspiring?
Yes, I find Ariana Grande and Olivia Rodrigo like inspiring because they're kind of similar in a way. Like they both started as like actors, child actors, and then now like they're just big pop stars. So that's what I kind of want to do. I just want to be like an actor, then go into like be a pop star too. Yeah. Like Olivia Rodrigo, she's like a year older than me, and she's so influential. She's also a songwriter, and the songs like she write about like her feelings. Yeah. I kind of write like similar songs like that, so she's definitely influential. Ariana Grande, I'm just obsessed with her. I love her resilience. She, you know, when she gets knocked down or something gets thrown her way, she just keeps pushing. And it could be something really bad, but she just keeps pushing. And I just love the resilience, and I also love her music. I also like love her like voice too, so I'd be trying to copy her, you know, vocal techniques and stuff.
Does her resilience kind of inspire you to push forward as well?
Yeah. I'm like, so when her ex-boyfriend died or like a bombing at her concert, like those are some tragic things, but she keep coming back. And you know, when something like bad happens to me, I'd be like, you know, some days are better than others, and my life is not that bad compared to others. So I'd be like, let me just get back up.
Get it done. Yeah. It's a good attitude. It's going to serve you well.
Yeah.
Cool. And that kind of resilience, you know, is so important as a professional actor or professional. I mean, I've never been in the acting field, but as a professional musician, resilience, you're going to get knocked down all the time.
Yeah.
And you got to have that resilience to push forward. So that's good. That's good that you've learned that.
Yeah.
And you kind of had an opportunity to kind of use that. So that's awesome. Now, you've mentioned a little bit about your songwriting.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know you were a songwriter.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like nobody really knows you're a songwriter.
No.
Yeah. It's not something you like to share?
Oh, no, I do. And people always ask me, they're like, oh, can I hear one of your songs? I'm like, I just probably think people are going to think it's corny or it's just, you know, because I just write about my feelings. And so I just think people are kind of, you know, it's not like, I'm a very open person about other things, but when it comes to my feelings sometimes, you know, it's kind of hard to share.
Yep.
And it's not anybody's fault. It's like past events' faults that make me close up, you know? And so now it's kind of unfair to people who I want to open up to, but I can't really.
Yeah.
So.
What would it take, do you think, for you to start sharing this kind of stuff?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I just write about my feelings things, and it's deep too. Like, and then people gonna be like, some of the stuff like it don't relate to me. I just write because I'm like, it can relate to somebody else.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And people gonna be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I shared it to a few of my friends, and they'd be like, "That's deep." I'm like, "Yeah." Like I just write. It's kind of like the stuff I write. It's kind of like poetry too.
Sure.
So that's why it's kind of deep. Some of it's like metaphoric too. So they just be like, "Oh wow."
That's an important skill to develop because you don't want everything to be too literal. Then it'd be a boring song.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool. What's the general vibe of your songs that you write? Are they normally pretty kind of content? Are they more desolate? Like, what would you say?
I do not know those words.
No, like, are they more like happy or?
Oh no, they're sad. They're more sad side. I don't know. I can't. I tried to write a happy song before, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like I was before I came in here. I was in there playing the piano, just freestyling. You know, I would just get random chords, play random chord progressions, and just be like, okay, and then just start singing a melody. So like I play games with my friends sometimes. Like I'd be like, hey, just give me a word, and then they'd be like, love. And I'd be like, you lost me. You know, like I just.
Yep, improvisation.
Improvise. Yeah, so.
Important skill. Improvisation can do a whole lot of things for you.
Yeah.
Cool. So as we kind of near the end of this, Amar'e, I want to also ask you, just about your family. Have they, what role kind of have they provided to, kind of push you to that next level?
My family, they're tough.
Yeah.
They're tough. I have 6 brothers.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I have all brothers, and we're like each other's best friends. We clash because we just clash. But my brothers, they're like in the music world too. They want to get into the music world too. Mm-hmm. So we're all like in the same general area. They want to be rappers. I want to be a singer and actor. Sure. But so like we all motivate each other. They come to all my plays. They support me. I support them. My mom's #1 supporter. My schedule is busy. And she makes sure I'm here, there. All my stuff is across town too, so she always makes sure I'm there, and she always supports me. She'd be the first one there. She'd be encouraging me, and she cried one time. She's like, wow. She's like, my kids are really amazing and great. And so I was happy for that.
Yeah,
and
you should be.
My brothers, like, we kind of like, so this is the actual reason how I started. So when I was like 5, when I was like, all my brothers are around, we're all the same like age group, just like 1 year apart. When I was like 5, 6, me and my brothers, we were obsessed with Big Time Rush. So we would go all around in Arizona, downtown, like just everywhere around Arizona, and just go on like sidewalks or like pool areas and perform Big Time Rush songs. We would call it the 4 Stars. But I had major anxiety, so I would like always, if they were never next to me, I would always back up. Yeah. And I remember it was a talent show. We was performing a Big Time Rush song, and I did not show up because I had major stage fright. Yeah. But now I love being in the spotlight, so that's how like music changed me a lot because I used to be this closed up person. Now I always want to be in the spotlight and
That's so awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Amar'e, thank you for telling a very inspiring story today. And we will see you presently. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.